Don't fall, Bubba. Don't put your feet down. Get the cookies. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Mandee, and my channel name is MandeeTheGreat. Mandee with 2 E's. Anyway, this is Keegan. He is my nursling, and he is about to turn 17 months old on the 15th. So I just wanted to do a little introduction, tell you about our breastfeeding journey so far, what challenges we've been through, and all of that stuff. So let me just go ahead and jump in with that. As soon as he was born, he latched on immediately. My doula was a lactation consultant, so she really helped me out a lot, and so I was really lucky to never have any latch issues. He just latched on immediately, and he just nursed for an hour, like 10 minutes after he was born, and it was just amazing. So we didn't have any problems with that. But once we got home, in the following couple months, what could only be explained as 24-hour colic is what it seemed like. He would scream hysterically. I mean, I, as a new mom, thought, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. Is it my milk? What's going on? So he would just be screaming like he was in horrible pain. And he developed a rash, and we brought him into the pediatrician, and they said, they blew it off. They're like, no, nothing's wrong. It means nothing. It's just you need to know what his needs are and whatever. So we kind of listened to them. And then he started projectile vomiting instead of just spitting up, which he was spitting up a large amount. He started projectile vomiting up everything that he was, like, he would have a feed, and then everything that he took in would come up. And so he was just nursing constantly or hysterically crying. And it seemed like he was kind of pulling away from me and arching his back and screaming. And that's when I thought, well, maybe this is like a reflux issue. So I brought him into the doctor, and sure enough, they diagnosed him with reflux and put him on a medication. The medication was Zantac, and it did help some, and it seemed to help a little bit, but not to the extent that I thought it was going to help. And he still was having a lot of projectile vomiting. He was having a lot of screaming. His rash was getting worse. By this point, it was covering his entire body. And I brought him into the doctor, and they told me, it's baby acne, don't worry about it. And I knew from the way that it looked, it did not look like baby acne. And my mother tuition told me, no, this is more serious, just keep pushing it, just keep going until they finally give you an answer, because my baby was suffering. He ended up developing an infection in the rash, which finally caught their attention, and they diagnosed it as eczema. During that week also, he started having blood in his stools, so his intestines started bleeding. Doing research and talking with the pediatrician, we discovered that my son has a milk protein intolerance. So he's not allergic to, most people that have a milk allergy are lactose intolerant, but his body is intolerant of the milk protein. So any dairy products he has to completely avoid. So what I did was I ended up, to discover that, I had to take dairy completely out of my diet, and we are vegetarians, so it's kind of difficult to remove that, but anything for my baby. So I took dairy out of my diet, and within a week his skin was baby soft and completely clear again. He was a completely different baby, no more screaming, no more blood in his stools, just completely content and happy, and it was just one of the most amazing times. And emotionally for me, because I had suffered from postpartum depression due to the relationship that we had with breastfeeding and him being in pain and me not being able to help. So it was just amazing to finally have that answer. So we've dealt with that. And since then, he hasn't had a rash at all. He will only, if I slip up in my diet and accidentally eat something with like a milk like a small milk product that you wouldn't really notice that was there, like sodium sterolactylate or something. Sorry. Then he'll have some bleeding still. So we know that he hasn't grown out of it. My husband grew out of it at 2.5 or 2 years old or 1.5. I don't know. But so in a year or so we might try to introduce it. I'm not sure if I want to introduce it back into my diet as of right now. Let me see. He has been exclusively breastfed since he's been born. He's never had a bottle or formula at all. And that's just because, you know, we didn't have to go there. So, you know, we're very lucky in that sense. I don't have anything against people that use that. It's just not my personal choice to use that. So, hello, baby. Let me see what else. So he didn't start eating solids until 7.5. Oh, you want to nurse? Okay, sir. Okay, come here. But wait, Mama, gotta lift this up and. Here you go. Okay, so you can put your hand up there. Hold on. Hey, no, you gonna nurse or not? No? You want to nurse? Okay, so, what was I going to say? Oh, so we are still nursing a lot of the day, but he didn't start solids until he was 7.5 months because with having one allergy-like issue, he could be prone and more at risk for other allergies. So we didn't want to do that. We introduced foods really slowly. He never did the pureed baby food. He did more of you know, independent little bite finger foods. So so now he's at a point where he eats what we eat, and so he eats some meals during the day, and also nurses pretty frequently still. I don't know the exact number because I don't keep track. I just give it to him whenever he feels like it. You know, since he's a toddler, he'll run up and get a drink and then keep playing. So I'm not sure the exact number. He does still nurse himself to sleep, and we co-sleep, and that's helped tremendously with our breastfeeding relationship. I believe in letting a child self-wean themselves. So I'm just going to follow his cues on when he is done breastfeeding. So that could be a couple of years from now, and that's all right with me. That is a personal preference. I know that's a taboo topic, and a lot of people think that's weird, and they don't want to talk about it, but I don't. I think that that's normal and healthy, and what's going to be the best for him in our situation. So if your child weans earlier than that, I mean, or you wean your child, I have nothing against you. Again, I don't judge. I don't expect you to judge me, and I won't judge you. So that is that. We have, the problem that I have had recently within the last couple months is reoccurrent plugged ducts. My milk ducts have a tendency to get plugged now that he's older and not nursing as frequently. And I tend to wear not the best, most supportive clothes like bras and stuff, and that's caused some issues. I did have one bout of very, very bad mastitis, where I actually went to the emergency room, and I ended up treating that without antibiotics. I treated that myself by taking in raw garlic, and it cleared up way faster than it would have probably with the traditional antibiotics, and I haven't had a problem since. So I'm working on dealing with these plug ducts. I've gotten pretty good about how to take care of them. What else? We haven't really had that many issues. We haven't dealt with thrush. He doesn't have a tongue tie. But all of these things I'm fairly familiar with due to the fact that I'm a birth doula, but also I'm training for a certification as a breastfeeding counselor. I've just kind of dived into my studies on that. So if you hear me say technical terms or I seem like I'm just like throwing all this information out there, it's because that's why, because I'm learning it and I'm studying, I'm a student with it, and I really enjoy it. That said, when I give advice or my experience, I'm giving that to you as another mom, as just, you know, a mom going through this, not as a professional. So, There we go, just clear that up. I don't know what else to say. I say so and a lot, and I'm sorry about that. I've been trying to work on that. And you know, I feel very passionately about breastfeeding, obviously since I want to make it part of my career. And I have really loved it, and I love what it has done for mine and my son's relationship and our attachment and bond. And I think it's just beautiful and natural and the normal thing to do. So, what else can I say? Okay, well, any questions or suggestions for videos, anything like that, just put that below in a comment or send a message to the channel as a whole, and we'll try our best to get to those. And I think that's it. So everyone have a good day, and it's very nice to meet you.